Welcome to the Something Random podcast, where sometimes we talk about movies, sometimes we talk about television, but we always talk about something random. I'm your host, Charles Joseph Kelly.
And I'm your co-host, Michael C. Macbeth.
And I'm Scotty Schaefer.
Hi, this is Joel Adam Chavez.
All right. So, the Emmys were this week.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to make the one joke that I haven't seen anybody make.
Okay.
Nobody has made this joke, or I'm sure they have in their brains. But guys, this was the 69th Emmys. Nice.
That was the joke?
Yeah.
I'm going to strangle you with my long phallic fingers.
Nice.
69.
Who would have thunk the comedy gods would bring us such low-hanging fruit this week as bringing us the 69th Emmys.
That was a rough punchline, though. You should take that. You should take that community college course on punchlines.
Punchline?
But I hear the professor is so old.
Oh, see, you're just quoting television now.
That's what I do.
I know that's what you do, but now you have to, because you're quoting television, now you have to name the television show and the episode.
Community, and I don't know.
Which
the
season?
Name or the season.
Was it the Yahoo season?
Number.
Season 7? Or season 6?
It sounds like it would be a season 6 type. It was Britta who said it.
Oh, Britta said it.
No, it wasn't Britta. It was Annie.
Right. It was Annie. You're right.
It was Annie even.
So, did you guys watch the Emmys?
I caught a good chunk of it. I didn't see it all.
I
honestly missed a bigger chunk.
I honestly didn't care to see it this year. We talked about it a little bit. I don't know if on the podcast or outside of the podcast, but there was a lot of shows that weren't nominated at all that should have been. And I was kind of frustrated with that.
I agree. And I kind of just wanted to see, when I watch awards shows, I usually have not seen 80 to 90% of anything. That includes movies, and Broadway is probably 100%. But I do like to just see the celebrities and what they're wearing and who's with who
wore it better.
Good. So, okay, I'm going to say this right now. Nicole Kidman's dress, that red dress, was to die for.
Lady.
To die for. Nice. That was a movie she was
know.
in.
Oh, reference humor.
I
like how you're making fun of me for reference humor now, that you were just doing reference humor.
I thought
so. But that's how that goes, right? Tit for tat. So
come on, guys, something random. Let's keep
it going.
I was going to say I thought Sarah Paulson's dress looked like Reynolds' wrap.
Oh my gosh!
Like she had been wrapped in.
Maybe it was like
Reynolds
for the new season
tinfoil.
American Horror, because she's so like closed off from the world.
Which kind of Reynolds wrap? Like the tin stuff, or like
the
clear?
aluminum foil. I mean, I've seen silver dresses before, but it actually looked like bunched up aluminum foil. And I think she's gorgeous, and I was kind of like, ooh.
I thought it was a little bit interesting to watch shows like that. It just, sometimes I get into this thing of like, if it's just going to be reading a list of things, they just draw it out so much. And the next winner is after this commercial break. And I just much rather read an article in like 30 seconds than watch 3 hours of TV to find the same information.
Oh, totally.
like
Because
all the reality shows are like,
go ahead.
and we're going to kick off after this.
Like of all the parts of entertainment to pull from real life, a business management meeting on a Monday afternoon is not the method to try and pull from for entertainment.
You know what bums me out about award shows is when you get the winner up there and they're giving their speech and they start to play them off. We've all seen it happen. That bugs me so much, because that's why we're watching the award show.
Yeah.
We're not watching for the introductions to the categories.
I know.
We're watching these people win and make acceptance speeches, and they give them, 2.5 minutes?
Yeah. So I was
seems
just going to say
generous.
that. Why don't they,
Doesn't
instead
make
of like
sense to me.
cutting off the actors who win, cut off the freaking actor who's giving the award and just say, all right, dude, let's get to the actual award.
That's what it should
and
be.
just let them
Yes.
talk, because they're the more interesting ones, not Chris Hardwick, who's announcing who knows what award.
That's
also really smart.
Yeah, and there's also, coming up, we have da-da-da-da-da, and this person, and this person, and this person. And then this person. It's like, if they wouldn't do that, they would have another couple minutes to give to the winners. That's why we're watching the show. ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. I'm looking at you.
All of them at the same time?
I don't know.
Well, he
who
has spider eyes. You can't tell on the radio, but
Well, there's
spider
Emmy,
eyes.
Grammy, Tony,
Jeff.
Oscars. So I think
Leroy.
Jeff, Uncle Jesse, and Little Michelle.
Joey.
At least the Tonys have awesome live
it Full House.
performances intermixed with the awards.
Is that the new EGOT, the Full House?
Yes. You also have to do it. You have to do a small onstage gig with Uncle Jesse, and then somehow attend a Knicks game with one of the twins.
I will say there wasn't anything that won that I was like either blown away by or super excited, other than Sterling K. Brown, who won for This Is Us, because he is freaking amazing. I love him. He was great in the O.J. Simpson deal, the Ryan Murphy
he was
thing.
great in that one.
And he's awesome on This Is Us. He's the best part of the show. And that was one of the best shows on TV this year.
I'm always like turned off by network television, but that's one show that I kind of want to check out. Now, on the other hand, for me, I normally watch all the shows. I don't normally see a lot of the movies in the Oscars because normally they don't come to theaters until after the Oscars.
Right. Yeah.
So unless they once they win, then they come out. But like for TV shows, I normally catch up on the major ones. I haven't seen a single episode of Handmaid's Tale. I haven't seen a single episode of This Is Us. I haven't seen anything of a majority of the shows that won. So this was like great for them. But should I? Have you guys seen Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I do want to. And it seems like them winning was just, I think, the last straw to kind of push me over to be like, I got to watch this. In particular, because I already have a Hulu subscription.
Yeah, and they actually did take a lot of awards.
Yeah.
So
it looks like they were one of the big winners.
I was wondering where you were going with camels for a second. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's one thing about camels,
listen
it's
to this.
the spitting.
Listen to
what
this.
are we talking about?
Handmaid's Tale drama series, best drama series beats a lot. Westworld, This Is Us, Stranger Things, House of Cards, The Crown, Better Call Saul. Those are all fantastic shows.
Yes, they are.
So Handmaid's Tale, it's got to be good, right?
Well, I was very glad to hear all the nominations for Stranger Things. I mean, obviously we talk about it a lot, but what I mean to say is, let me put it this way: it was exactly the kind of TV that a lot of us wanted to see for a long time.
Oh, totally.
And it's exactly the kind of thing that network TV would never have touched, or unless they could really get their mitts in there and screw things up a lot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that we wouldn't have ever seen that on network, not even Fox.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have.
I like the story that was posted online where they pitched the show like multiple dozens of times to all these execs, and then they finally got it picked up. Well, that's how television is done.
Well, no, I submit that there's been a change now. I mean, look at how it used to be that if you wanted to have full control of your cinematic presentation, that you wanted to be a director of movies. But now movies are so big in production companies saying, no, this is how you have to do it. Sorry, dude, you did a great job with Jurassic World, but I'm Kathleen Kennedy, and we hit in the small bump of the road, so you're out. I'm going to bring back in J.J. Abrams or whatever. Suddenly, if you want to have good creative control over your art, it seems like the smaller online expos of TV shows, or whatever they're called, streaming now. That's not even, I don't know if you count it as TV because I watch it on a TV.
Right.
But it's like the Netflix, the Hulu, the Amazon, all of those ways. That's how you get really good creative control. And I think that could be, what if there's this new thing where people are starting out in movies so they can really do what they want on Netflix? Wouldn't that be an interesting dichotomy?
I do feel like right now is the golden age of television. So why is it working? Let's kind of hash this out. Why are they given the creative control? I think it's because Netflix has money. Like, they are bringing in money. You don't pay to see Stranger Things. You pay for Netflix.
That's true.
No matter what, Netflix is going to be making this money, so why not put better content on there? How would they be able to do that for television or for movies? Do you guys feel that movie companies can do some kind of streaming service or like pay-to-play kind of movies?
As in like a Hulu for movies?
Hulu for movies, kind of like kind of what they're doing with Movie Pass a little bit. But
that's the guy from Netflix or whatever.
Yeah. But to pay the movie companies up front and then get better content.
That could happen. I feel like we would be more let down because TV shows you can watch a couple and stop. Mm-hmm. Movies you kind of are stuck.
Yeah, no, I mean, and there are ways around that. I feel like there are movie rental type services that are subscription based, if that's what you're...
Well, no, I'm talking more so about the companies themselves having a back end of money so that they can feasibly put money out for more risky movies, because we talked about this on multiple
I see what you're
shows
saying,
where
I was
they don't
confused there, too.
take risks in movies because they need to make money. They need to do the safe stuff so they make money. So do you think that would potentially work, where they could put money beforehand, like Netflix, but for like just movies, like just new content, but movies? I mean, Netflix is already doing it with their movies and stuff
That's
like that
true.
too.
I think it could work, and I think what it would have to be was someone that's worked on Netflix or HBO or something.
Yeah.
Would have to go and say, "Look, this is what does work, and this is what doesn't," and not just one person, but several people, because you're going to make mistakes, and they're going to be big budget, multi-million-dollar mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it'd be a lot easier to avoid that with people who knew what was going on, instead of just saying, hiring a handful of people to throw it together.
Yeah.
And it's tough because there's so many things out there, and it's like, I can't afford another subscription for something like that personally.
Yeah, I think it would have to have it would have to have other movies on it. Obviously, it couldn't just be for streaming new movies for whatever this company was called.
Mm-hmm.
It could work.
Yeah.
It could definitely work. I mean, Netflix is kind of doing it.
Yeah. My only problem with the Netflix stuff is they don't really release their movies in theater. I don't think they have yet. I know Amazon has with Manchester by the Sea. They released that was in the theaters before it was on Amazon, but it's an Amazon production. Same thing with The Big Sick, actually, is an Amazon production.
Good.
SNL cleaned up and got a couple good awards.
Kate McKinnon is fantastic in everything that she does.
She's great.
She
has
the Midas touch.
They also won Outstanding Variety Sketch, and Alec Baldwin won Best Supporting Actor,
Of
and
course
he's not
he did.
even a featured performer on the show. So
Yeah. I think a lot of people complained about how politically charged this Emmys was, but I mean, that's just the country that we live in right now.
I was actually, I'll be honest, I was pleasantly surprised because I can't stand Stephen Colbert, and I thought he was going to ruin the Emmys, and they didn't put him on very much. So I was like, cool. I missed his opening thing, and
the opening number was good. The Sean Spicer bit was okay.
I just do we really want to hear about politics at the Emmys, Stephen?
Right.
Come on.
Right. I mean, that's what you get when you hire Stephen Colbert, who ran
Which
for
is
Congress.
why I thought it was dumb. So.
Yeah, so what is it that you don't like about Stephen Colbert, besides all the politics?
Okay, nothing. I don't like it and it's not his politics I don't like. It's that he talks about it so much. Because when he had a show, because I think he's funny. He used to be funny. When he had the Colbert Report, I would look at it and go, this is pretty funny. He's not like Jon Stewart, where he's just like, everything liberal is right and everything conservative is wrong. And before you jump to conclusions, I'm not a conservative or a liberal, so just so you're aware. Not to get too political. But Stephen Colbert didn't do that. Or he did it in a way that was still funny, where he would go, yeah, this conservative is an idiot, but then again, so is this liberal. So, but now it's just like, Trump sucks, which is where everything is going right now. And I'm just kind of over it. I'm not a Trump supporter. I just want to clarify that. But I am tired of hearing about it.
I'm so tired of turning on Facebook or anything and just seeing how every news agency is kind of overextending. For instance, there was a huge article the other day about Melania Trump and her shoes. People were complaining about her shoes, and I'm sitting here you remember when you guys were bitching about people complaining about Obama's tan suit. You need to stop this shit. This is overextending politics in
they're digging to look for stuff at that point.
And I mean, there's so many good reasons to say that Trump is a poor president, and we're not going against those. We're going against the shoes that his wife wore.
But
okay, we're done. This is not guys. I think what we need to do is have some kind of jar in the corner. The moment we start talking politics on this show, we have to put
break
a
the jar over the person's head who was talking politics.
That too, please. Or
I've
a hammer.
got the Jack Daniels bottle over there full of change.
Yes.
Full of
We
change.
could use
That's politics, man.
okay, stop. Emmys.
One last thing about the Emmys. This was Julia Louis-Dreyfus breaking an Emmy record, everyone. She won Best Actress. This was her 7th win for Best Actress.
For Veep.
For the single character, it's the most wins anyone's ever gotten for one single
That
character.
show is so
Excellent.
good. If you guys haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It is so choice.
It sounds like the title of a show that Beaker from the Muppets would watch.
I haven't seen it. I've heard it's tremendous.
It's
I haven't.
I've
seen
seen a couple scenes from it, but I don't have HBO.
But we're not allowed to talk politics, and that's a political show. So
well, so here's something that I will mention though, because you talked about Handmaid's Tale, and Hulu. Can I jump in on this one real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so here's what happened. As far as, especially since we're talking about TV, we're talking about shows that we like to watch, and we're also talking about how we're not rich. Here's what it comes down to. It really does. It gets expensive. Hulu, Amazon On Demand, Netflix. These things aren't free. But what I did is that I made this. Now this was easily 10, 15 years ago. I don't want to say I'm ahead of the game or whatever, but I just did simple math. I looked at how much I was paying for cable, which was at minimum like $80 a month. Sometimes it was more if you got the box and all this other junk, DVR and everything else.
Right.
And the DVR fills up really quick, and then you still didn't have some of the specific content. So what I did is I wrote down every single show or movie I could possibly want to watch, and I found them all on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon, except for like 2. And then I was like, you know what? So that basically means I can pay for Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix. That's like it's like $7, $8 a piece. It's like $24 total for all 3 of those.
Yeah.
And that means that these other 2 shows, I would be paying for cable just for those 2 shows. That's another $60.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know what? Math. I could drop cable like a sack of dirt, buy those seasons on DVD every month, and it would be cheaper. So if you have cable and you hardly ever watch it, but you like the Netflix and stuff, I recommend to everybody, drop cable like a sack of dirt. Drop it like a home phone and a newspaper.
However, the unfortunate trend that I'm seeing is that a lot of companies are trying to privatize their own
Content.
The Sci-Fi Channel now, they removed all of the Stargate series from Amazon.
Well,
so
I did hear
you can
about
watch them for $3 a piece.
It's
now.
not. That's not Sci-Fi. That's actually MGM that removed
Oh,
everything.
MGM.
Who owns the company? But yes, it's,
But yeah, Sci-Fi is doing their own paid subscription.
As in,
now.
it's exclusive to itself.
yeah. So
Oh,
MGM
okay.
is having their own Stargate paid subscription, where that's the only way you can watch Stargates online, and that's where you're going to get the new Stargate TV show that's coming out. Which I don't know how I feel about that.
the one
But
with
it's the
Seth
same thing
MacFarlane.
with Star Trek.
No, that's
Star
Orville.
Trek. The new show is only going to be
On
on
CBS.
CBS.
Well, but also that reminds me though. Remember when the only Star Trek show was on what was it, VPN, like Channel 20 or something? UPN, and even though their
UPN.
numbers. Even though their numbers were way less
Hey,
than what
spell
CBS would have
ICOP.
had,
Yeah.
it was like the highest rated show on UPN, so they kept it going. And I thought Voyager was a very good storyline.
And then UPN failed, didn't it?
Well, they did.
I think it tanked,
But,
yeah.
but I think it's because they dragged that out as far as they could. So it's one of those things where one person's gold is another person's treasure. Sometimes even a bad Star Trek show could be the network's #1 show because of the way the network is.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for that possibility with. If they're putting the new Star Trek Discovery on actual TV, they'd cancel it in a heartbeat like they do the last of the shows.
Here's my I have a question. Now with Hulu and Netflix, if I want to watch This Is Us the night it's on, does it come on those?
I think Hulu
night?
is the day after.
It's
Hulu's the day after.
Yeah.
So if I'm dying to see This Is Us or Dance Moms,
That's why cable is still a viable option. However, YouTube is doing.
YouTube Red.
No. They're doing a cable service now.
Oh.
Where you can pay for YouTube cable, which is like $30 a month, right? And you can DVR every show that's on there all at once, and you can have up to 6 people who have this.
get out of the city.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway,
you
I
just-
don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that system could work for me because I do like to watch, the news from time to time. I like to watch. There's fights that I like to watch and stuff like that. Oh, you can order those different places, but
sports is the only thing for me that keeps cable kind of around.
But you can do that. I have a Roku, and there's sports channels and stuff where you can suddenly watch all of, every single Viking game, whether you're in the state or not, or whatever. If you just want things like that.
there's probably a way that I could do it, but I'm too lazy to look into it.
Yeah, in years past, it was always like, well, okay, so it was these 2 shows I couldn't get, plus also now I can't watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, so that kind of sucks. But now you can totally do that because enough people have asked for it.
Or
but I'm
go
just
to
saying that there is
go
a
to your
way.
aunt and uncle's house and they'll have it on.
There you go. Yeah. just walk into any house and there's an old man sleeping on the couch. Macy's Day probably on.
Oh, Joel! Wait! I think we got a breaking news. We got some breaking news from Dance Moms Watch.
Dance Moms Watch. DMW.
Yes, we're on Dance Mom's watch.
Is that your new dance?
Welcome to Dance Mom's Watch.
All right, everybody be quiet because there's a bunch of crazy shit going on. All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready
now-
for the shit.
now listen
I'm
to-
so ready
Listen.
for this shit.
Listen. A bunch of shit went down. Abby came back. She was on vacation in Mexico.
Oh shit.
She came back. Okay.
Okay.
She came back to the studio.
Okay.
The moms and the daughters, they get to the studio and the new choreographer's not there.
Oh, what?
And they go, what? They go, what? Why isn't she here? And they're calling her. She's not. So, and then Abby's there and they're like, what? Why is, and Abby's back. The moms got mad and left. And then they called Lorianne and said, can you choreograph something? And she said, Abby asked me not to. Abby heard the word that Lorianne was on the scene, called her personally, and told her to not be. So,
No shit.
moms got mad at Abby, walked out of the studio, including original members. They choreographed their own dance. It hasn't aired yet. We're gonna see it next week.
What?
I can't wait to hear what happens.
So
That is some
much
breaking news.
drama for those mamas.
Yes, and goddamn
You've been
be-
waiting to say that joke for like a week now, haven't
That's
you?
a lot of drama.
Well, it feels like that's
for
how
those
long we've been talking about
Drothers
this.
for those mothers.
Come join us in the next week, time, place for the Dance Moms.
Or DMW Dance Mom's Watch.
Hey guys, I got a question for you. Go
yes,
for it.
sir.
Hey, so this is a question from me, and I'm kind of wondering about this for each of you. Where you guys are at in your lives, what would you make a documentary about?
Right now, at this very moment,
This very moment, what are you interested in to make a documentary about?
A good friend of mine gave me an idea once of making a documentary about the homeless population in Fort Collins and how they are unique because they all have a bike. They all have bikes. It's a very unique slice of American life to be homeless and to have a fully awesome working bike because there's so many bike services for free in Fort Collins.
Right.
It's very interesting. Nick Turner, that's Nick Turner's idea, and I would watch
Okay.
that movie in a split second.
There's a lot of interesting homeless people in Fort Collins too. They've been around for a long time.
It
too.
gets
It's the same
cold. It gets
people.
cold in Colorado.
Yeah, and it's
but
the same
they still,
people who have been around for a decade, and you see these same people,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just it's heartbreaking, but it's also kind of a lifestyle choice. There's a couple people that I've seen that have gotten jobs recently too. Which
Oh,
is really kinda
great.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a great topic. I would not just Fort Collins. I wouldn't limit it to Fort Collins. I would put it everywhere because I've actually had conversations with homeless people downtown. I've
Downtown Denver?
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends that have been homeless, and what's interesting is not all of them. I don't want to say all of them, but a lot of homeless people don't mind being homeless. They are willing to live for free, and not live for free, but live the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting. I would think that wouldn't be so, but
Yeah.
so when well, I don't want to get too into it, but most of the time when people are really, really trying to get money and they're giving you a story and stuff, usually those people are homeless. Is what I found out from homeless people.
Interesting.
Because homeless people don't want to give you their story. They just want a couple bucks or whatever.
Sure.
Is what I've heard. So that's why I'd like to watch a documentary about it. So.
Yeah.
Michael, do you have one?
Do I have a documentary?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was quite the opposite of this, actually. Not exactly, but no, just getting closer to 30 and thinking about my peers and how many of them have just one job or multiple jobs. It'd be really interesting to look at the status of employment and versus self-employment and how that all pans out for the individual.
That is interesting because there seems to have been a switch between, 30 years ago, if you're 30,
Single
you have one job
career,
and
yeah.
that's it. And now it's like, man, you go out there, you
have to have
you
4 or
work
5 little
Yeah.
small jobs to make ends
side
meet.
jobs. And
Exactly.
Not
yeah.
only that, but going to school too. If kids, people are
Right.
going. I say kids, but if people are going to college.
I wouldn't say kids.
I know that's what I say. I can't.
One of my close friends just graduated. She's closer. She probably listens to the podcast. She's closer to 29 plus.
You
Let's
didn't
just-
say what her name was.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows. And if she heard this podcast and said, "You think I'm how old?"
Well, is she like a dirty old hag or something?
No.
better not say yes now.
No. I'm not saying that.
Okay, good.
I didn't say it.
That would be that. I do agree, though. That would be interesting to see, and especially for the way. Again, I don't want to get too political, but the way that people are viewing other people, that they have no idea how they're living. You go,
Sure.
oh, you're a kid. You can go out and get a job. Go get one. Well, maybe they can't. Maybe they're too busy with school or
Right.
whatever they're doing, or their internship, or
And I see a lot of memes created. I see a lot of tweets and things of that nature discussing this, but I don't see a whole lot of documentary filmmaking about it, which I think would be fascinating. No, and I'm going to go ahead and go on record and say the old quote that do what you love and you won't work a day of your life is complete crap.
Bullshit.
I mean, I do a lot of things that I love, but I still work my ass off.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
optimistic.
true. He has
quote.
no ass.
It's a very optimistic quote, but it's not true.
It's not realistic at all. I mean, if you're like, for instance, Michael and I, we run a video production company. The amount of time that we have to put into that to make it viable is insane.
Hey, I know where you're coming from. I'm a painter. I love painting. I paint sets, and it is the funnest thing ever. I just love to put color on things. It's so fun. But when I work a 15-hour day, that's work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know?
I
I'm
will say
tired
this.
at the
though.
end.
I will say this. I spent 11 years in customer service over the phone for an insurance company, and I will say that the best day I ever had there was so much worse than the worst day I've ever had at a theater.
Well, that's great.
So
See,
there
that's
is one of those
great,
things
yeah.
to be like when I left that job, it was like there's definitely a standard of life that got raised by
yeah.
walking away from a
That,
job.
I could agree
So-
with that.
so-
Yeah, because I was in an office too, and I could probably say the same thing.
I think
Yeah.
all of us have been there, yeah, because I was
Yeah.
2 years in banking, and then I went to massage school, and
to get real hands on.
that joke never gets old. I really needed that today.
Oh, you hear that a lot? Dang it. Dear diary,
No,
I
I
did
made
it again.
another
I got it.
Fun.
Needed.
Oh,
He
okay.
needed.
Oh!
I do have one more. I don't want to beat a documentary horse to death. I don't know.
Ooh, that's
There's
a good
something-
documentary.
But
Beat the documentary horse?
yeah, something about beating a dead horse.
Hi, everybody. I'm Beat, the documentary horse.
Anyway, I would not make this documentary, but I will always watch a documentary about religion, any religion. Religion fascinates the heck out of me. I'm watching that Leah Remini Scientology show right now, and it is so, obviously it's very one-sided, but it's so freaking fascinating.
Is that the one on Netflix with the weird cover?
No, it's not on Netflix. Well, it may be on Netflix. I don't know, but it's
it's
on
on
it's
Netflix,
on
yeah.
A&E. It's on A&E, and it's there's that. I've watched documentaries on several religions, and they're always fascinating to me.
So this may be our first chance for fan art. I really want to talk about Beat the documentary horse, and
I think that's the movie we're making. Yeah.
Beat the documentary horse.
Beat the
I like,
documentary
I like
horse.
this idea. It's very very fun.
Can we abbreviate it to F.art and just call it fart? Fan art.
Fan
fan
art.
art?
Yeah.
We got some F art.
Fart.
We got some fart. Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks for your fart, everybody.
I love that idea. I love it ever since I first found the rulers that said art in 4th grade and grabbed a crayon and put an F in front of it and felt so proud of
Look
myself.
what I did. Look what I did.
Well, I really hope eventually, once we have a bigger audience, if we have a bigger audience,
We're
that
talking 2-3 people.
3 or 4 people. That,
Congratulations to our 5th listener, by the way.
yeah, you win.
Your prize is to bring a friend next time.
I am really intrigued by having our audience make fun movie posters. If we can get people to make a Tom Hanks Batman poster, I would love that.
Yes, let us inspire your creativity.
Yeah.
Just to be the small spark, let it out, and then make whatever. Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd love
That'd
to
be
see it.
a really easy one to do too, because
Yeah, I
you
know.
just have to insert a portion of his face.
Yeah. So
Or just take a normal one of his face and then put the bat mask over it, so suddenly it's, Tom Hanks's Batman running through Forrest Gump
Or
town and
Still wearing his Forrest Gump suit.
or
Find
Tom Hanks, because he shows up in random places nowadays.
oh yeah, all we have to do is just fake a wedding shoot in New York City. He'll
Yeah,
probably
fake
just
a
stop
fake
by.
a wedding. He'll just be running in. He'll run into you. Be like, oh my god. Okay.
What does he sound like when he runs into you?
Okay, he sounds like.
okay. I didn't mean to bump into you. Sorry.
Whoa, hey, go!
I would love to see the Tom Hanks Batman poster. I would love to see the Matrix Musical poster. I would love to see these creative ideas be made. And I don't have...
Deceased. Let's do a quick list of all the ones that we had.
Okay, we had like Washington Deceased would be awesome.
Washington Deceased.
Right, we had The Child, which is our one with Seth, which was the horror musical, which was... Oh, I want to do that so bad. I want to make this a thing.
Yeah, we had Matrix the musical.
We also have Carrie, the romantic...
Carrie the family...
Comedy. Family romantic comedy.
All right, who's got a 6 degrees this week?
I've got one for you guys.
Can we...
Originally, it was supposed to be Michael has one for you guys. So, Michael, please make an apology.
I say he just has to be
farted.
the loser anyway.
Yeah, you automatically lose?
No. Michael has stuff going on this week.
That's true. You had a lot going on. It's okay. We won't.
He's
we won't
not
give
even talking. We're deciding.
We need an apology for you, but we're all gonna talk.
So, my keep going. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead.
My 6 degrees for you guys is from one Jackie to another.
Oh God. Okay.
We're gonna go Jackie, the movie that just came out. So Natalie Portman to Jackie Chan.
Natalie Portman to Jackie Chan.
Okay.
All right, and just to go over the rules of 6 degrees of separation, you have to know the name of the actor. You have to know the name of the movie. They can be in television, but they have to be in the same episode.
Okay.
Now because this one is a little bit more difficult. I am going to give you guys 5 minutes to do this.
The full fiver.
The full you get a
5.
You get the full 5.
Actually,
You
this was actually going to be the first week we were going to shorten the time amount.
So yeah, we were going to shorten it to 3, but I think a tight 5 is still what you guys need.
Tight 5.
You need to have a tight 5.
So we're going to be right back with a word from our sponsor, CJ, Charles,
it's
Joseph Kelly.
Because we don't have sponsors.
Okay, bye.
For now.
All right, give us the time.
Hey guys, this is your humble host Charles, just checking in to see how things are going. Hey, I got 2 free tickets to go see Frozen on stage, and I was wondering if you want to go with me. I was thinking we could go grab a couple drinks beforehand, get a little drunk, and, just let it go. I'm recording this before we release the podcast, so I hope you're enjoying the bits. I really hope that you. Oh yeah. Michael's TV show that he watched this week. Oh man, that TV show was so interesting. Scotty's joke that he made and Joel's voice that he did. Oh man. Pretty much all my free time is going right now to the podcast and to finishing up our short film Tick, which releases September 29th. Oh, it's like a week and a half out. I'm kind of freaking out. A lot. So I wanted to make sure that this was recorded with good audio equipment while I had it set up, and I'm not recording at 1 o'clock in the morning with my cell phone again because that wasn't that great. I wasn't very happy with that, and yeah, let's not do that again. Once the short film is up, I'm probably going to do a short film themed episode. I think that's the game plan, where we answer questions on the process of how we did it and, kind of more of a Q&A. Still do it in a comedic kind of way, but we're looking for some kind of real questions there as well. And maybe a longer episode, maybe a extra long episode. We'll see. Maybe 2 episodes in a week. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there, but there's a lot that we need to talk about. And I want to treat you guys to that. Also, after that, we're probably going to be bringing on some new guest hosts as well. I have some people in mind, some that we're just finishing up scheduling right now to get that in. I personally am going to be on a few shows here in the near future as well. I'll give you guys information on that in the near future as soon as I have that as well. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot of fun here. We're so glad that you took an hour to listen to us. And for the people who consistently listen to the show, thank you as always. You guys are fantastic. I love reading questions from you guys. I love reading comments. I love you guys. You guys are my favorites. If you have any questions for the podcast, anything that you'd like us to answer, you can find how to contact us in the show notes. Pretty much you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I find some questions on Podbean, which is our host. Yeah, we'll take them up. And if for some reason we don't answer your on the podcast itself, we're probably answering it on our live show, which we're gonna start trying to do. Get a good schedule on timing for that. I'll let you guys know. But once again, it's all up in the air right now with the short film. So thank you so much for all the positive feedback that we've been getting in the last few weeks. It means so much to me. It means the world to the guys. When I started doing this podcast and the first few episodes, and you can listen to those, we were pretty cynical about things, and that's just not how I feel about film. That's not how I feel about television. And doing reviews is not what I want to be doing. So thank you so much for enjoying this positivity that we're trying to spread in the world. All these people who are trying to create art, trying to create film, trying to create music, they're all creating. And it's amazing that they're doing so. Sometimes it doesn't work as well as they would like, but they're still creating stuff. And I'm so glad that you guys agree with us. As always, guys, thank you so much for listening. And I love you.
Sometimes it can be hard keeping up to date with everything going on in the gaming industry. The Sometimes Geek podcast is a quick and easy listen each week that covers all the major gaming news while giving the opinion of an everyday gamer. You can find it at sometimesgeek.com or on iTunes, Google Play, and wherever you normally grab your podcasts.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We are back.
So we solved it, you guys.
You did.
Well, sort of.
Well, we all worked
it was a
together.
group effort.
I
It
did
was
very
It
little.
was mostly Joel.
So what we came up
Say
with
anything.
what we came up with was Shanghai Noon.
Jackie Chan and
Jackie
Shanghai Noon
Shanghai
with
Noon
Owen Wilson.
with Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson in Zoolander #1, and Natalie Portman actually played herself.
What did she say?
An interview in. She said that
Give us the
Derek
line.
Zoolander, he's almost too good looking, and that would be one of the only deterrents in pursuing a relationship.
I think that's verbatim the line.
How many
It's-
times have you
Fairly close.
The problem
Not
is
too many.
Michael is kind of a savant about movie lines, and it's crazy. He'll remember like weird quotes, and he'll be like, "Hey, remember that movie?" And I'm like, "I have no idea
Yeah,
what the fuck
you know,
you're talking about."
Seth and I do that all the time, and Jalen will observe us and go, "What?"
But there's a difference. There's a difference between like classic movie lines and the shit that plagues Michael's mind. It's like so blocked up with stupid one-liners from Community, as we've seen earlier.
So as we solved this, in was that 2 degrees? 3?
3 degrees.
3 degrees.
2.5 minutes ish.
3 degrees, 2.5 minutes.
Do you want to? That's not what, and that's not what you had, is it? What did
Yeah,
you?
well,
Oh,
you
so mine was a little bit different. So Natalie Portman was in Your Highness, and she was in Your Highness with
She wasn't in My Highness.
no, it's a comedy like high fantasy movie with James Franco, and it's all about smoking weed, but it's all based in like high fantasy.
James
like,
Franco.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got James Franco in it. James Franco
Okay.
was in
Oh, I get it. Highness.
Your Highness. Yeah. So James Franco was in Pineapple Express with Seth Rogen, right? Seth Rogen was in all of the Kung Fu Panda movies with Jackie Chan, who played Monkey.
Oh my gosh. Are you
The
seriously
animated
watching all of
film.
these animated movies? You're like, oh, Brother Bear, oh, Kung Fu
Yeah,
Panda.
I
I'm like,
know
who
all
are
these
these
I
things?
love that a cartoon.
I mean, there was another one that I
linked to
found.
two
I also
big
went
pot smoking movies.
I also did one when I first thought about this last week with taking Chris Tucker into Fifth Element and kind of taking it that route is the original way that I did it, but this one works just as well.
Oh yeah, that's how you can do Jackie Chan to Bruce Willis pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking nothing.
Of the movie that I'm gonna have to watch.
So,
Punishment
so
movie
as a punishment movie for CJ, since we did solve it via Zoolander, he is going to go ahead and watch Zoolander 2.
Which he's
Electric
been avoiding.
Boogaloo.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you watch your movie this
I
week?
did.
What'd you
Tucker
think?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
What did you think?
Fantastic.
Yay!
It was great. Yeah, I loved it. It was.
It was so different than what you expected.
It
probably.
was not what I was expecting.
Good.
But as it kept going, I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Because it's all these, these elaborate deaths, all Final Destination.
Right, right, right.
And well, I don't want to give anything away for anybody that hasn't watched it, but it's like, I love misunderstanding movies like that and stuff like Three's Company. You know, where one side thinks the other thing. You know, but yeah, it was great.
Talking about things that start off one way and end out completely different than what you were expecting. I watched American Vandal this week. Have you guys seen the trailer for this?
I've seen your Facebook feed, though.
Okay.
You've been quoting about it forever.
Okay, so the whole premise of American Vandal is it's like a true crime drama, like the one that's
Making
on
a
Netflix.
Murderer.
Making a Murderer,
Okay.
right?
Except instead of a murder,
it's about a kid who drew a bunch of dicks on a bunch of cars in a
Right,
parking
yes,
lot,
yes,
and it's
yes.
so funny. It's done by the guys who did
remember you talking about
Funny or Die,
Die.
yeah.
And it's
it's Will
so
Ferrell's
funny. But then it turned into this really intriguing mystery about like some other things that are going on in the background, and it had no reason to be as good as it is.
What's it called?
American Vandal.
American
American
It's
Vandal.
so good.
How
and
many? How many episodes? Like 7?
there's
12, 13?
8 or 10, something like that.
It's on
I
Netflix?
blew through it in
It's a
2
Netflix
days.
thing,
Yeah.
or is it
Netflix.
Are they full 45-minute things, or is like 22 minutes an episode, or what?
It's like 40 minutes, I think, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Well,
So
10
it's
or
not
40, that's not
long,
bad. Yeah,
but
you can do it in a day.
it's good. And there's moments where I chortled, it was like audible guffaws coming out of my room, me laughing so hard on this, and then it got so serious and so intriguing about actual things that are going on in the plot. It's so good, guys. You all need to watch this.
That's great. I'm excited for it because that whole
look for
genre
it.
has been very popular lately, and it's just right.
I love
it's
true crime
right
everything.
for what's it called when you do the third one? That's funny. Spoof. Right for spoof. Right for
Parody.
parody. Is that what it is? Parody? Is that what it means?
Satire.
Like fourth satire. I think one of them means like 3.
I think
like Star Wars and then
every
Spaceballs.
word we've said is the same thing.
Yeah. Is it
Right
called
for
raining
satire.
or is it called sprinkling? Did
Trilogy?
Yes.
anyone watch
You
the
poked my
You
heart.
poked my heart. All right, so along the lines of things that are exciting to see,
Porpoises?
that was a terrible
dang.
segue.
No,
That
That
was
is
great.
so-
Keep going. Keep going.
Anything new in the fall television previews you can't wait to see?
Yes.
All right, Joel, go.
I do have one. I have. What is it called? Oh, it's called Me, Myself, and I. You guys seen this with Bobby Moynihan and John Larroquette and some kid? It's 3 different times. The kid plays the main character as a kid. Obviously, Bobby Moynihan plays him at middle age, and John Larroquette plays him when he's older.
Oh, interesting.
And I that's all I can tell you about it. I can't really figure out anything else, but it looks really good.
Huh.
And I love Bobby Moynihan as well as John Larroquette. I mean, I haven't seen John Larroquette since Night Court, but I still love him. I think he
Yeah.
was hilarious in Night Court. So I think it'll be great. It looks really good.
That's neat.
That
Which
sounds-
show or what channel?
It's called Me, Myself, and I I think it's ABC. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So
It's
it's like
network,
actual
though.
network.
It's network, yeah.
Interesting.
And then the other one I wanted to look at was Young Sheldon. Even though I'm not a huge Big Bang Theory person,
That does sound interesting.
it's been written that it's one of the best things that's going to come on this fall.
Especially because you know who I found out's playing young Sheldon?
Who?
Is that Ian kid from Broadway? Ian loves theater. He's this adorable kid who just apparently he must be rich enough for his parents to take him to all these Broadway shows. But he'll like ever since he was a child, like 4 years old, he would talk about like he'd go see a show and then talk about what it was like seeing the show and how much he loved it. And he was just so like adorable, but also like beautiful. Like he was like being educated.
Was this like a
watching-
YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's like YouTube or like a Facebook thing or something.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and not only that, because it got so good, he was just a kid who liked going to Broadway shows.
That's
and of
pretty
course
cool.
he was a boy, so it's like oh yeah, he can like watching Beauty and the Beast, but he was also like I thought the Beast was like really good, and I've seen a lot. Like he sees all the shows that are up for the Tonys and stuff.
Yeah.
So that suddenly big Broadway stars are like, oh my gosh, is Ian here? I want to go meet this kid, and they get to meet him, and I guess he networked enough that now he's going to play the young Sheldon. And I'm
that's
like,
fantastic.
that I actually want to see because. You
yeah.
watch those videos, you're going to love it.
I also heard that Jalen told me this earlier that Laurie Metcalf's daughter, Laurie Metcalf, who's my favorite actress in the entire universe, I swear to God, her daughter is playing her in the show. Sorry, I had to geek out for a second.
Laurie Metcalf's daughter is playing her.
Is playing her character from Big Bang Theory.
Oh wait, which character?
Laurie
She's
Metcalf plays
Sheldon's
Sheldon's
mom.
mother. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Laurie Metcalf's daughter is playing Laurie Metcalf's character from the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, that's
Young
hilarious.
Sheldon. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I Well, first of all, I finally finished the pilot episode of the Orville.
Oh, that's right. I want to watch that.
The second episode came out yesterday, and I didn't get to see it yet. But
Why not? How dare you, Michael Macbeth?
I was like, you went for an Arnold thing? Why? Get to the job and watch the show. Let me ask you this question, though. What do you think about, because some of them are not humans, some of them are like aliens. What do you think about that, like the alien makeup? Is it like cheesy or is it like good? Same thing for the external shots of the ships and planets and stuff? What do you think?
I think as with any network TV show, the CGI is just going to be lacking. It's going to happen. The green screening is going to be lackluster. It will lack luster.
What?
I know.
I was thinking about opening a luster shop, and I was like, no one's going to shop here, but everybody needs it. Nobody wants to pay for it.
Is this her, Adrian Palicki? Is that her?
Yes.
How do you say it? Adrian Palicki?
Palicki or
Yeah.
Palicki, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, everything she touches is usually very well done. And as far as action stuff, she kicked a lot of butt. Oh my gosh, she actually had a. Well, maybe it's not there anymore, but there was a spin-off.
Did she get written off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I think there was a spin-off or something.
Yeah, I know they were planning on a spin-off with them, and they just didn't bring them back. That's kind of...
I don't really know. I know that the whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, you know what? I used to be king of watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
was
and
so
all that
good.
stuff.
I stopped
But then they
watching-
had the spin-off, and there's even the whole new one I haven't even touched.
Anything other than Orville, Michael?
Oh, yeah. Well, so in less than a month now, and CJ will join me in being excited for this, October the 13th, which is a Friday, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is coming back, season 3, and I am so freaking excited. I
My
saw the
body
cover
is
art.
ready. It looks so good.
Oh my gosh.
So, have you guys seen Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
haven't.
It is...
I saw Crazy Ex-Girlfriend season 1. I haven't touched season 2. I don't know why.
so
I need to.
the whole premise is it's like Flight of the Conchords. It's a TV show musical, and it's fantastic. I think that it's basic cable, so it's gonna have some problems, but
Yeah.
it's so good.
But I truly feel, and we talked about this, I truly feel that the fact that it's not on Showtime and that particular limitation that they have to imply sexual things and
Makes
there
it better. It makes
there
it so much better.
Exactly. And there is a song where he sings about a relationship being a shit show and they bleep it out. And
so
it's
good.
so funny when that first happens in the song. You're like, oh gosh. Yeah, it really does create a better space for them to get creative and work around those concepts. And
But
that's,
they can't say shit, but they had a whole song. It's a tap number called "Tap That Ass All Over This House." It's so funny.
and Rachel Bloom got nominated for an Emmy for that.
Well, Rachel
yeah.
Bloom is
For
actually
that song.
very, very
No kidding.
talented.
She is so talented.
Yeah.
And she should be doing so much more. Have you guys seen any of her like YouTube videos when she was like on YouTube primarily?
I think so.
What? No, I don't know. Tell me everything. What are you talking about?
So she's like she started.
She's a
off
YouTube
making-
star?
She started making YouTube videos. Yeah.
Well, she was writing for Robot Chicken before that, though.
Scotty, what are you excited for?
The super nerdy stuff. Basically, Orville. I'm excited for, but I haven't got around to watching this last week, and I definitely want to watch Star Trek Discovery because I am.
Oh, I can't.
You can't tell, but I'm wearing a Star Trek shirt. I'm such a nerd.
It's a red shirt.
Well-
It's a shirt and it's red. It's a red shirt.
But
no.
everybody always gets worried. But not if your name is Scotty. There you go.
But Scotty's
So-
been coughing for a while now, and
Yeah, it's because
he's
I'm
wearing a red shirt.
beating the space herpes. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Mine really quick is Mindhunter. It's the new David Fincher TV show. It's a true crime TV show about the FBI people who are in charge of trying to learn, like get into the
I've heard of this
minds-
one.
trying to get into the mind of serial killers back in like the 70s or 80s.
If I remember it, it's also like the first time they were like, you know what, we're gonna start calling these serial killers.
Yes.
Like they didn't have a name for it
So
before. Then. Is that
they were
right?
just trying to figure out like the mindset of a serial killer, like where they're at. So it stars Jonathan Groff. Anybody know who Jonathan Groff is? Have you guys ever listened to the soundtrack Hamilton?
You
Oh,
mean
yes.
the cast recording?
The cast recording. He plays
the king. Yeah, so
plays
he
the
was
king.
also in Frozen then.
Yeah, so
He's the
okay.
we finish each other's sandwiches guy.
yeah.
Okay,
which
yeah.
they stole from.
He plays the lead, and he's like super serious guy instead of like funny man. Funny Broadway.
man.
Funny Broadway.
He's
Well,
not
if
making
I
vacuum
understand
jokes.
correctly from Hamilton, he's friends with Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Yeah.
and Lin-Manuel put him in the show.
Manuel.
Manual.
I think it's Lin M. Shyamalan. No, that
You
can't
guys
be
know he's going to be on the podcast next week, right?
right. Oh my god, I hope so. I will
Better
kiss
learn
the
how
man
to
on the
say
lips.
his name.
Hi, Lin Manuel. Okay, I'm out. Oh man.
It's actually line manual.
Well, see, how do you speak to him? You have to first refer to your Lin manual to make sure you get every step.
All right,
correct.
so
we made this joke last week.
You did not.
Wait, no, the week before.
Okay.
No, you were here.
I think
you
we've
made this
talked
joke.
about the pronunciation of Lin-Manuel's name about 4 or 5 shows.
I think
Damn
we've talked about it for
I did
4
not
or
realize
5
that.
hours on this podcast so far.
So next week we're going to release a special edition episode, and it's going to be all the times we've talked about Lin-Manuel's pronunciation. Of his
And
name.
also
And it's
Owen
going to
Wilson
be a
wow
45-hour
impressions.
show.
So I think let's create really quick a something random drinking game
Oh, to play with us?
to play with us for our audience. All right, so we have to do. Michael mispronounces a name, right?
Yes.
Is a
Absolutely.
drink
As a drink.
or a sip.
A
you know.
sip. We got a sip. Okay, we got Joel voices. Sip.
Whenever
With Joel voices?
whenever-
when I do a voice?
Joel voices are a
Well, I was
sip.
going to say when I go fa, because I go fa.
Whenever
Yeah.
Scotty coughs, that's waterfall.
Oh my God!
They'd be drunk.
Whenever Joel does an impression of Tom Hanks, you have to do a shot.
You guys have to get me. What am I doing? what are my mannerisms? When I say fantastic,
You say incredible.
I say
a lot.
incredible. So when I say that's incredible.
Bad jokes?
Or solid.
Whenever
What puns?
whenever we talk about
Anybody giving a pun.
whenever we talk about Iron Fist, you have to do a line of Coke.
Oh my God. No coke. No coke, no heroin.
Oh, I was gonna do it for heroin. Oh, come on.
No meth.
What about marijuana?
See,
Mary.
we all get on a random tangent about Star Trek Next Generation. Bath salts.
No, not to do them. Just to go ahead and just soak in the tub. Just enjoy.
Some
You know.
Epsom salts, you know,
You know?
just some
Get a
lavender
bath
Epsom salt.
bomb.
Because that's
Maybe
the best
there'll
part.
be a
This is a
piece of jewelry.
podcast. You don't have to be stuck on the couch. You can go anywhere you want. You can go outside and lay under a tree in the shade.
Guys,
You know,
I am naked right now.
He's not lying. He really is.
Yeah, I can see right under his clothes.
Now, this is a thing. If we could all do some homework and come up with, let's say, maybe 5 rules on our own this coming week, and then by the next week's show, we can agree on which 5 should be in.
Oh, good. I was afraid you were going to say we're going to have like 20 rules.
No.
total.
We'll agree
Yeah.
on which 5 should be the best.
That's a good
that's
idea.
a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah?
I think it's a horrible idea, but we're going to go with it.
Okay.
It's always a good idea.
So talking about, I think we're gonna make a
the
movie.
documentary about,
Are you talking
Beat the Dead Horse?
Here, is that Beat the Dead documentary horse?
Wait, are you the front legs or am I the front legs?
You're the front legs.
Are you the front legs or am I the front legs?
It's that's clomping in. Is that
That
what it's
horse
called?
was drunk.
In
That horse has been playing the something random drinking game.
okay, so is this really the way that we want to go?
Oh,
and take this movie?
absolutely.
Okay, so is this a movie about a horse that's into documentaries or?
I think it'd be interesting
Horse that's
if it was.
into documentaries.
Well, I mean, that is
Please.
I think it should be the narrator of a series of documentaries.
Is the horse?
Is the horse.
So wait a minute, let's
so
get the name
then
right. Was
it's
it Beat
Mr.
the
Ed.
Dead documentary horse?
What?
Was it Beat, the Dead documentary horse? Is
He's
it
a zombie horse.
a zombie horse either who watches documentaries, or I submit that he's a dead horse named Beat who makes documentaries, but it's an action movie.
I think
about him making
I think
documentaries.
for title purposes for this podcast, we need to call it Beat, the Dead Horse, and then an exclamation point. He can be into documentaries. That could be like a cool little thing.
that'll be this edition.
Yeah, exactly.
Beat the Dead Horse documentary edition.
All right, so that opens the door for fan art. Please send us your
Absolutely, please
your
do.
drawings, paintings of. If
you don't make one, I will.
The
got
dead
it.
horse.
So really, it would be a documentary about something that's already been very thoroughly documented,
I know it's like
like a conspiracy theory that's.
no,
was
it has
saying
to be
that-
about this horse. It
I think
is
the
about a
documentary is
horse.
about the horse
Yeah.
who enjoys documentaries.
Yes.
Okay. Very
Okay,
meta.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a funny documentary. It's like a mockumentary. So in the style of like Spinal Tap or American Vandal.
Or The
star.
Office.
This
Yeah.
skit's always been sustaining the same note since 1976.
Listen, do you hear this? You hear
Don't
that?
look at.
You
Don't
hear that?
touch it.
You
Don't
hear that?
point.
Well, you would if it were playing.
But you can go off and have a bite, and I'll still be ringing on it, won't you?
Michael, have you seen that movie yet?
I guess not.
Spinal
Okay.
Tap? You haven't seen Spinal Tap?
Oh, Spinal Tap. I have not. No.
There's a song where they're all playing basses. All of them. All 3 of them playing basses. And the song's called Big Bottom.
That is amazing.
Yes.
What's the copyright thing? Can I sing on this? Or no,
don't.
Damn it!
and
I'll sing it to you when we turn the mics off. I'll sing you a little sample.
All right.
well, actually, keep the mic on. Just stop recording because I want to put that in my ringtone. I already know.
Can you just whisper the song delicately into his ear?
No, you
right
cannot
now.
whisper Big Bottom.
Yeah.
You can't. Yes.
You have to sing it.
Okay.
I wonder if I could just say some of the lyrics as a poem.
All
Would
right,
that
Of
count?
course you could.
My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. Can't wait to sink her with my pink torpedo.
Big Bottom. Big Bottom.
Wow.
Talk about mud flaps. My girl's got them.
Welcome to the Something Random Podcast Slam Poetry Hour.
I told you guys about my idea about doing like a hybrid slam poetry basketball game.
And slam dunking something.
Slam. Okay, so but everybody has to be intoxicated too. You call it slam drunk.
Slam drunk.
Oh my gosh.
There's something that could go wrong there, but there's something that could go so right.
right.
Slam
go
drunk.
It's a big
So
risk,
right.
but it has potential.
All right, so beat is
Beat
okay.
the dead horse. BEET or BEAT?
Ooh, I was
BEAT.
thinking BEAT like a boo, a boo, a boo. Well,
My
I'm
na-
a dead
oh.
horse, and I'm here to
thought
say
you were gonna-
I love
it's okay.
documentaries.
What were you
here
saying?
today?
What were you saying before?
Oh, this is so when we were mic checking. I'm sitting here and I'm like, my name is Charles, and this is my freestyle style.
Freestyle style.
I do like the idea of beat being kind of like more of a musical horse, not necessarily like a beatboxing horse, but his name is Beat because his I'm calling them clomps. Let's just call them clomps.
Clop, 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 clop,
Are they
clop,
clops?
Hooves?
clop, clop,
No,
clop, clop,
it's the
clop,
sound
clop,
that the
clop.
hooves make, not the hooves.
I think what you're referring to, the technical term is a cloppity clop.
cloppity clop. So his
Maybe just a
cloppity
gallop.
clops are so rhythmic, and that's why they named him Beat. He's like, so yeah, and then his owner is like, yeah.
Oh, his owner now?
Yeah.
So
So-
he's property.
Yeah, we have to talk about that. I'm so sorry. He's this
obviously
horse is not
sentient,
owned
okay?
by
The
any
documentary can be
They're
about
gonna take
him
statues down.
going for vying for talking horses' rights.
Yeah, and he
This
sings
is-
about it.
person. Okay, so the whole movie. Okay, so
And
it's
runs.
an actual scripted movie, but the whole idea is they've got a documentary crew following this horse and about him like bringing horse rights to the people.
Absolutely.
Wait. We were totally overlooking something because he's Beat the dead horse. Why is he dead? Is he undead? Is he dead?
I think it's like in Hamilton where the first line pretty much is, and then I'm the dude that shot the
damn
Hamilton.
fool that blah blah. blah.
I'm the
the
guy.
damn fool that shot
I'm
him.
the person
But-
who pulled the gun out and I shot
But
him
wait a
in
minute.
the spleen.
But wait,
Oh,
why is the
obviously
horse-
you've listened to more than 10 seconds of it.
So wait a
That's
minute.
all.
Wait. So why is he dead or not?
Well, I thought one of the thoughts that popped in my head is that he's like a zombie horse, and when he's first looking over at like horse brains, the only thing that can get his attention away is if you put up a documentary TV, and he's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll look this way for a little bit." But then as soon as it hits commercial, I'm back on the horse.
Hey,
brains.
Beat, look over here. It's making a murderer. You're gonna love this. You're
you
gonna
guys-
love it.
Did you guys ever see the zombie movie called Fido, where everybody has?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the guy has the pet of his kid.
It's
or
pet zombies that people have,
Right.
and it's about this guy who has a pet zombie named Fido. It's, I think that's kind of the way that we kind of take this.
I agree.
Do we want to find who? Do we know who his owner is? Or I mean, I know
we just talked about this, man. You can't own a horse.
but that's what
But
he's
that's the
fighting
point,
for.
yeah,
He's fighting
yeah.
for.
Oh,
his
although if we are gonna make the movie, I think I know a girl that
owner
has a
becomes
horse.
his best friend.
Yeah, or maybe it's
No.
maybe it's like Planet of the Apes, the prequels or whatever, where they're like, look, I'm gonna put this harness on you just so that we can go out to the park and people don't like arrest us or something like that. But really, we're equals, okay? Like,
yeah.
don't think that you're a pet because we put this on there. I want to let you know this is just so we can go out and not get harassed by people.
Yeah.
They
And
just
then
be
the
like,
filmmaking crew gets in trouble for revealing all this stuff.
well, here's something else that's interesting. Now, this is how you can make a splash. If it's about horse rights, what if the documentary crew, follow me on this one, are also horses?
Oh,
So like the steady cam shots
I
of
don't
like
know,
following
man.
them are like
Horses-
go.
Horses are gonna have to wear some pretty heavy slippers to not make noise.
Oh no, we'll hear them the whole time.
so and here's
And then like one of the horses
My biggest
gonna be
problem-
like,
I
taking
think like
shit
a
right
Shetland
now.
pony that
okay. So with these horses controlling
Maybe.
this video equipment, how How do they press the record button in the first place?
Oh, you know what? Not how you think. Turns out they whip it with their tail.
I dig this. That was my one stipulation. I need to figure out how they hit the
So
record button.
so really the hard part is like how to put it so that you get like their teeth and they're like pulling up. So they have to put the gear on each other and they whip it with their tail, turn it on, turn it off.
Okay, so are these?
Hold on
many
1
horses?
second. With the crew here being horses, we've got it. This is going to be a la white people in the Black Panthers, where they're fighting for rights, because we've got to have some people in there, because the people can hold the cameras or hold the booms or whatever. There's got to be people that do things that horses cannot do.
Right. I think
Also,
And
while we're
they're
at it,
fighting for
like a
horse
pig or a
rights.
duck or something.
Because
too.
everyone fighting for rights has to have.
Okay, yes. So I think
Privileged
the
allies
film
on their
crew
side.
should be like not hybrid human
Are we
horses.
gonna
Hold on a
have
second, hold on a second.
centaurs?
That's
Reverse
a centaur.
centaurs?
reverse centaurs.
Reverse centaurs. That's a person with a horse head. Right?
Okay. All right. So another thing. We cannot talk for hours about centaurs because this turns into my brother and me again.
I don't want to do that, but
I
I
don't-
do like the idea of like a different kind of reverse human. Like, so what's your situation again? Well, my uncle was a horse, or my grandpa was a horse, but then my mom and then both my mom's parents are human. So that explains the hoof for hands. That explains the hoof for
He
hands.
puts his hands up like this.
But they still have like little tiny
the
like
camera just
But
zooms
no,
out.
the hooves have like 5 separating parts, so they still can go like this a little
So
bit.
it's like 5 little hooves on
5
fingers.
little hooves on his fingers.
Oh, Five Little Hooves as Fingers. I loved that song when I was a kid.
Or
Five little hooves as fingers coming to scratch you.
there's also the
Five little hooves as fingers. They're going to get you.
I'm gonna have nightmares for a year.
okay, so my other pitch would be a half human, half horse, but it's split down the middle.
Oh no. Okay.
Right down the middle.
guys, this-
like a bad
movie-
Halloween costume from 1993.
Like
Look,
Victor
on this side I'm a
Victoria,
woman,
but
on
a
this side I'm
horse.
a
Yeah.
man.
This idea is out of control.
we could get into why the horse
Okay,
hates the Godfather.
So back to the
and-
okay. I don't want hybrid horse humans. I think that's a little bit
No,
too far.
I agree.
However,
but,
though-
the film crew should have some humans in there and have some horses. Do the horses talk? Is it like a Mr. Ed kind of a situation?
I'm
I think
pretty
so.
sure the
I think
horses
some
talk.
can and some can't.
Who
Oh,
plays,
you know what? Some can, some
Into
prefer
kind of a
not to.
wicked type
Who
thing.
plays the horses?
Who plays the horses?
Who plays Beat?
A horse, dude.
Oh, you mean the voice of the horse?
Who plays?
Oh, you know what? You know who's really big in animal voices right now? Bradley Cooper.
okay. I take a Bradley Cooper.
However, if I may, I don't know if he can play a zombie horse. That's a little out of his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I know. He's played animals, but he hasn't played a zombie. I don't know if I feel comfortable with Bradley Cooper playing that.
Ooh,
role.
you know who has played a zombie and also has good comedic timing and also would bring a little bit of an accent to it? Nick Park.
I have no idea.
Who's
who
Nick
that is.
Nick Park is the big guy from Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of
Okay.
the Dead. That's what I was thinking.
And
I
you
was
know-
going to say Mark Addy from the Full Monty, but that one's better.
Oh,
And also, one of the horses should be
Do you
voiced.
mean Nick Frost?
yes, I meant Nick Frost. I'm so sorry.
What did
Who the
you
hell is
say?
Nick
You
Park?
said Nick Park. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God, Nick Park made the Wallace and Gromit movies. I meant Nick Frost. Thank you for correcting me.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good now. Anyways,
Who do you think should be the voice of one of the other ones?
Oh, one of the other horses should be voiced by Morgan Freeman, most definitely.
What kind of budget do you think we have for
I'm
this
a
kind of thing? We gotta work
so, but here's the thing. Have you seen some of the movies that Morgan Freeman's been doing lately?
But he does so much narration for documentaries.
And the
He
horse
needs
really
to
Oh,
be
likes
that's
in
true. He
there.
could probably do that stuff in the car. at
Beat
this
is
point.
going to really like that particular horse because he sounds like Morgan Freeman.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Ever
Oh,
since I was
how
a
about-
little
And he
colt.
well, how about this? The horse, voiced by Morgan Freeman, could be the narrator of the documentary.
And then somebody could be like,
Yes.
"Oh my God, horse, you sound like Morgan Freeman." He's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
I don't know.
Except
who Morgan
now, do we want to go full tongue in cheek as a mockumentary and say that his last name is Free Horse?
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's a good. That's two.
Nice.
American Free Horse.
American
Isn't a
Free
mare a
Horse.
female horse though?
I don't
Mare?
It is.
It's a horse word.
It's a horse
It is
word.
a horse
Well,
word.
what about Negan?
that would be Megan Fox.
Yeah. How about Megan? Well, Megan Fox could be one of the foxes helping
Yeah.
with the production.
No, we can't go into more species. It's horse and human.
Yep.
That's it.
It gets too complicated beyond that.
Okay, how
Next
about
year-
How
next year,
about maybe
dogs
we get
and
like
cats
a little?
living together.
How about we get like at one point there's like a little bird that lands on one of their backs to help hit some buttons.
Definitely.
And that bird?
Michael Cera.
Okay, so anyway.
I
So-
think we've created a horse movie, guys.
And I think we have beaten that dead horse very sufficiently.
Did we beat the horse for you folks?
I think we beat the horse documentary. That's for damn sure.
Okay, so and we make Beat the Dead Horse. The documentary is what it's like the behind the scenes of the document, like the making of the film, and it's like a full on movie.
Oh, so it's Beat the Dead Horse documentary. The documentary.
Behind the scenes.
yeah.
BTS. Okay, the big.
So
This is a great idea.
yeah, this is so
I'm
good.
glad to
I
be a
can't wait to
part
see
of
some
it.
posters.
I'm
I
so
want there to
glad-
be so many posters that we have to be like, oh, which one? I love them all.
I'm really so excited for this movie, guys. I'm so excited to waste my money on
Hey,
it.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
Would you? Okay, so
I would watch it if it
would-
was already on Netflix, Amazon, or Hulu.
Actually, yeah. Truth be told, I wouldn't pay
I'm
to see
seeing
this
this
in
in
the theater. But I have
theater,
rules about that.
suckers.
If I was to lose the 6 degrees of separation and was forced to watch this movie, I would watch this movie.
Sir, are you implying that there are punishment movies you do not watch?
No.
Bum bum.
I watch everything. Okay. I watch the punishment movies even if I don't lose.
All right, boys.
are.
Homework for this week is to come up with 5 rules for a drinking game.
And if
5
you
rules for
folks,
the drinking
yeah,
game.
if you folks have any ideas of fun mannerisms that we have for our
Send
drinking,
'em in.
Send them in. Let
Or
us know.
annoying mannerisms. We're always up to hearing about that too.
or
Or
just
hilarious.
or gentlemanly mannerisms. Scotty, I love it when you use that suave voice of yours.
Yeah, don't write
Dash
that in
no
because
one.
then he'll keep doing it.
Charles, we like when you talk with a really nasal voice that's not your normal nasal voice.
Wait, why'd you use your real voice for a second?
Shit, now they know how I talk. Now we're going to have to talk like this for the rest of the podcast. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for listening to Something Random Podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play.
Google Play.
Pretty much anywhere podcasts are found.
much anywhere
Thank
podcasts
you,
are
thank you,
found.
thank you, thank you so much for listening to the
echo in here.
podcast. My name, as always, is Charles Joseph Kelly.
One of these days it's going to change. My name is still Michael C. Macbeth.
My name is Scotty Schaefer.
Goodbye. This is Joel. Adam Chavez.
It doesn't get old. It doesn't.
What did I do? I don't know what I did. I
right.
did something. I don't know what I did, but I did something.
You know,
Bye-bye.
I normally cut out like bad timing and just like cutting out like spaces and stuff like that. But when Joel goes, and my name is goodbye. It's funny as shit, guys. It's
Okay.
so good.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much,
we'll see
everybody.
You next time.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
have yourselves a wonderful week.
Oh, yes.
Bye-bye.